It was really just the first time that I had done it, so like I had no idea what was going to happen.
Well, I mean, you really should have known better, you know?
I
You have
should
to
have, but I
sneeze
didn't.
twice and then jump off.
Oh, yeah, it got it backwards.
You can't just WebMD this kind of stuff.
I mean,
Are we live?
oh
Hi,
yeah, we're live.
everybody.
Hi.
Oh my god.
no. Oh,
Oh my god.
Whoops.
Hello, everyone. I'm Angela, your DM for this evening, and you have joined us for Shenanigoons, the Book of Faebles, that sort of fairy tale D&D campaign where you contribute to the chaos. Hello, players. How are you doing today?
Hello.
Good.
Doing okay.
Feeling
Great.
good? Feeling less like crawling into a sad little like hole of D&D and we have a fifth player
crawling into a sad hole of D&D. That's
It's-
every day I wake
It's
up.
just Button. Button is here to investigate the
Hello.
stream.
Yes, checking things, looking at wires, making sure things are going well, and I'm going to take that as a go ahead to continue on the game. Thank you very much, technician. Welcome to our regular Tuesday night stream. If you are new, we are members of the Nerdsmith Network. We're a group of creators and general dorks making fun, nerdy content for you, podcasts and live streams. You can find out more about us at nerdsmith.org, or if you like the stream today, you can support us at patreon.com/nerdsmith. We are sponsored by some really incredible companies that help keep the lights on and help us keep this stream chugging along. So we are sponsored first off by Eldritch Foundry. Eldritch Foundry is a really kick-ass fantasy miniature website where you can design really, really lovely fantasy characters and then have them printed, 3D printed, or you can get digital copies for use in your maps. Little portraits like what we have here, these tokens. You can also get top-down images so that if you're making top-down maps and like battle maps, you can have your custom character there. It's very, very nice. So please check them out. We are also sponsored by World ANVIL, absolutely incredible campaign management and world building software. A really fabulous community of folks that are always coming up with something new. The creators of World ANVIL are always updating with new features. If you want to check them out, you can start for free at worldanvil.com. And if you want to get customization features and the latest updated features, you can consider supporting them by becoming a guild member. They have all their information on their website, so please check them out and please take a look at some of the incredible worlds that are already there. And you can find them at worldanvil.com. Finally, the saga continues. My goodness, Tessa, can we please get an update about our wayward set of dice?
So it's been a week since the Dice Gremlin Robert stole our set of the copper purple alloy dice. It's
Die-hard dice.
sad. They're beautiful die-hard dice. But he left us a ransom note today. I'll share it with you now, but it's, I'll read it as well. It says, Mwahaha, Robert here. I have taken your precious die-hard dice. Solve my puzzles, and I will return them to you, maybe. In order to get your D4 back, visit nerdsmith.org and find the name of my gremlin counterpart. Type the name in a reply to this message, and the next clue will be yours. I believe we posted that on our Twitter, so if people are interested in helping us get back this Die Hard Dice set, they should go to our Twitter or our Facebook, Nerdsmith, and send us a message with the name of Robert's gremlin counterpart so that we can get these dice back. And you guys will get a chance to win the set if we manage to get all of them back. So I'm hoping this works.
This is dire.
I posted the link to the
It's
Twitter
dire.
post.
Oh, thank you.
It is really...
Well, please, goddamn puzzles. That's right, Lane. Goddamn puzzles.
Yep.
Enjoy.
Yep.
So
Puzzles galore. So hopefully we can get this taken care of.
you can help us find our beloved Die Hard dice, or you can go to dieharddice.com on your own and get your own set. of the copper purple alloy, and we have our monthly coupon code. If you use Nerdsmith-MAR, you can get 10% off your purchase. So please check them out. I keep telling people about it, and they keep buying Die Hard Dice, and then they keep being happy with their purchase.
It's amazing,
so weird,
right?
Yeah.
So yes, if you can help get our Die Hard Dice back and get a chance to win that set by solving the puzzles that Robert is going to be posting over the next couple of weeks. I have received the next message as well, so I believe that we'll be posting that in a couple days when everybody's had a chance to try and find step 1. So
All right.
hopefully you guys can help us out.
Yes, please do. We would like our dice back. And we would like you to also have an opportunity for dice. So,
Indeed.
all right, everybody, let's get going. Look at that. Look at he split today. We are following up a absolute roller coaster of a session last week. My tear ducts have been magically sealed. I will not be crying today. I promise. Today is not that day. I know I said that last week, but last week had a possibility of it happening. This week, no way. No way it's happening. But because of a certain something that happened last week, I feel like it is my duty to make sure to remind everyone how they can contribute to the chaos in this game. Last week, we had ourselves a parade of 76
trombones.
76? No, must have been 96 then.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of people parading down the street in like mummers garb, and it's like a parade, and there was music playing, and they were just dancing, and nobody knew why. That was because our beloved viewer Mouse contributed money to, or I think it was $10. I think.
Let me see.
15. The wheel is 15.
The wheel's
There we go.
15.
Yeah, put it on the screen now so people can see it.
Thank you. To spin the wheel of causality. But there are other ways that you can support the network, or support the show and the network. If you contribute $5, you will give the players a re-roll, of which I have decided they can turn in to change things if they need to, which is what Kyle did last time when he went, wait, I want to have done something else. And so I let him redeem a re-roll. And I'm going to say that re-roll comes to me.
Oh, that is...
Oh, boy.
That is fair.
So now you know the real stake is, do you give me a re-roll in exchange for changing the circumstances?
Re-roll retcon.
15... Oh, no. Speaking of, so $15 lets you spin the wheel of causality, of which we have a bunch of meta things that can happen and in-game things that can happen because our players have spent, or our heroes have spent so much time in the Feywild or some approximation of the Feywild. They have brought a little bit of wild magic back with them, not just what Harland exudes on a daily basis. And at $25, you can let me know in your comment, help me create an NPC for the session. Give me their name, their appearance, a little fun fact about them or what they're doing. And yeah, just give me a little tidbit of information, and I'll work them into the session somehow. My mileage may vary depending on what's going on in the session. Or $50, which we have actually gotten one of these at one point, DM Ex Machina, which allows our players to take over as DM for 30 seconds. And who knows what sort of hijinks they can get into. They clearly can get into plenty just in the chat, which is great. Thank you so much.
Pheromones, Heather!
It was because she said he just exudes it, and then
I know it's where my brain went too, but I know, I'm aware.
Angela's like, I'm a professional though.
Trying real hard. Alrighty.
I was good until
So those ways that you can financially support the network and the show and add a little nonsense to the show.
Sorry.
Tessa, remind me at some point to make sure that the chat is visible somewhere on the screen soon.
Yes.
Because we break
I'll
all the
make a
time.
note.
Anyway, let us continue our story. Previously on Shenanigans, chapter 18, Spoke Easy. We had, let's just go through the highlights. So the group are hanging out or hiding out at Oliet's uncle's bookshop, Uncle Eb, and he's been very kind to his niece and to her friends. Still processing a little bit, but more than happy to assist however he can. And Derrett's Rare and Fine Tomes does have a lot of research possibilities, and Eb has taken to that very earnestly. And has provided quite a bit of information for everybody. I will have to go back and listen and notate, but I know Heather's amazing, so there's probably quite a few notes from that. In addition to learning a bit about the Baba Yaga, about this idea of the Great Archive, a bit about Airshale and the Goa. They have at least a few threads to kind of pull and find more information and maybe get some answers, and a few of the sort of subtasks they have besides just laying low and avoiding whatever becomes of the King of Tales. The Lord of Tales, I think, is another thing that you asked Uncle Eb to take a look into. He hasn't gotten a chance yet because, for starters, Oliet and Villain had a bit of a heart-to-heart. It was, I think, a little eye-opening for her, and a bit of a, it's not this, Carl, it's this.
I loved it. I was sitting here just loving it.
It felt a little, besides like a knife to my heart, it felt a little like a bit of closure for them, even if it's not like great. It's not like happy, but they both acknowledge that their lives are kind of going in weird places, and that they haven't necessarily, Villain at least hasn't necessarily done right by her. So, but it seems like there might be a little bit of some reconciliation possible. Just, that first little step of talking to each other has happened, and that was important. So, after that, Harland encountered this parade of people randomly running and dancing down the street and decided to join them. He went invisible, he snuck into the crowd, and then a bunch of the Mechanist Authority came to crowd control. And Harland got a little caught up in that, but he managed to avoid being bowled over like so many bowling pins, like these people were. And then several clockwork paddy wagons pulled up, and it looked that several of the Clockwork Authority and the mortal members of the Clockwork Authority were checking these people, almost like medics, and then escorting them into these vehicles. Harlan did his best to disable one of them, but there were 4 total, so 3 of them started piling people in. Also, Harland was intercepted by a familiar little Modron, a monodrone by the name of Vector, big orb dude, Mike Wazowski, steampunk Mike Wazowski, but with a bent of with a little bent of anti-establishment, socialist ideals, wants to overthrow the bourgeoisie with his bird, and basically ran away with Harland in tow to a safe house, and then informed the group via this mechanical bird that they should show up at an address that I don't remember, but it was an address, at midnight, because tomorrow is because tonight is open mic night. And that was the last they heard.
Mm-hmm.
So you all are that's sort of where we left off. So we'll get to Harlan in a moment. The rest of you are just having gathered together, and you all end up, I think, up in the room that Verlaine was in, because that's where the bird was going, fluttering around, this mechanical bird, and it's the voice of Vector popped out of it and gave you information. And so you have been given these instructions and been told to arrive at open mic night if you wish to pursue a partnership in rebellion against the Clockwork Authority. Verlaine's like, this is I was really fucking dramatic.
What's an open mic night?
No idea.
A headache.
No idea.
What did you say, Oliet?
A headache.
I mean, at least he's with someone we can kind of trust to keep him safe. But god damn it, I told him not to go out there and he did it anyway. I can't kill him, but shaving it's itchy when the hair grows back, right? I've heard you guys talking about that.
You're gonna shave him?
Probably not.
Where are you gonna shave him?
I was under the impression everywhere.
That's just mean.
No, that'd be a little overkill. I'm just upset. It's fine.
I'm just
Big guy's got that white knight streak in him. I'm not surprised. And
What? My ass, he went dancing down the road for no reason.
Verlaine opens the window and they kind of poke their head out. The bird flutters off. Okay.
So are we supposed to follow the bird, or we just go to the address?
I think we go to the address. I'm not going out there. And he kind of nods out the window, and there's the 3 trucks are still out there, and they're still, like, people are still kind of dancing, and they're piling in.
So we sit around here, wait till midnight, and then go get Harlan back, I guess?
I guess. Oliet, do you think you have, like, an old cloak from when you were a kid that would fit me? I'm gonna not blend in very well in the middle of the night.
Oh no. Oh no.
So much stuff that would fit you. Let's go look. Let's go look right now. Come on.
What did I just do?
Oh, that cheered her up.
Yeah, we won't see them for another 4 hours.
Hazel lets herself be dragged off.
Yeah. Uncle Eb kind of plods up the stairs as they run into Oliet's room, and he finds the group of you, or rather, they find you, Paru and Verlaine. He finds you in the room. Is everything all right? The ruckus outside.
Seemed to be some sort of weird dance party. It looks like the authorities are cleaning up the mess now.
Another event, yes. Tend to stay indoors for those.
It seems to be a good plan, judging by how folks are being rounded up. So
There have been some official announcements that there has been more chaotic activity beneath the city. Things over the last several weeks, actually. I tried not to worry Oliet about it.
Angela, like, we've been back now for just about several weeks, or
4 days, 5 days.
Yeah, this has been going on longer.
Okay, just what was
no,
it?
This is
Tessa
it is
isn't
not,
sure of timelines, so I just wanted to be sure.
Yeah,
no, you're fine.
We haven't stayed
no.
at any of the family members' places
For more than 2
like,
days.
2 days.
Yeah, this has been going on for, like, when he says several weeks, he means like closer to 2 months worth of weeks. Like this has
Okay.
been going on for a while.
Huh.
Interesting.
Things like that are not unusual. They are all unusual. But the authorities have been cracking down as quickly as they can. I don't always. It doesn't always seem like there is much of a need for a fuss like that, but they undoubtedly know more about the dangers of this sort of chaos.
I guess. I don't know. It just seems a little bit like overkill, but
Oh well, no one was injured, as
that's
far as
good.
I could tell, mildly, but not permanently. No, there have been a few other odd goings on here and there, but that was one of the larger that I've seen, at least.
Guess we'll have to keep an eye out.
But your friend Harland, he's not back. Did he get rounded up with the others?
He didn't.
Good.
We're gonna meet him later. He's laying low at the moment. Um, so we will reconvene with him a little later on after this is all calmed down. It seemed wise for him to maybe not make his way back right this moment.
That's fair. Yes, laying low would be best.
That's the plan.
If there is anything that you need while you wait for him, I'm happy to assist as best I can. Otherwise, I'll be running the shop downstairs and continuing with my my research.
Thank you. I'll let you know if anything comes up. It's greatly appreciated.
Elaine's just, yeah, thank you. He just readjusts his glasses and clops away because yes, he has hooves.
Par will wait a couple of beats, like it's been long enough that maybe Uncle Eb is out of earshot. Reach into her vest pocket and hand Villain a flask. Moonshine?
Thank you. He's leaning against the window. So, going to a secret underground resistance meeting. We're real good at laying low, aren't we?
Well, it's not till midnight. It's only like, what, 3?
Because all the super harmless things happen at midnight.
Well, I don't know. What do you suggest?
Drinking was a very good suggestion. I second it.
It's usually a good suggestion from what I've gathered. It's not like I can go hang out a spore party until then. That might make an open mic night interesting.
He kind of glances at the door. Elliot seemed okay, right? She seemed excited, happy, okay.
She seemed okay. How are you doing?
Fine. I'm always fine, short stack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. I've seen you be always fine. She's got kind of that little wry smile on her face.
He lifts his wrapped wrist. See?
Right as rain.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Not a thing wrong.
Why do I have to wear the tights?
What is she putting her in? Who knows?
Trappings of her people.
I
bet
would
you
think.
5 gold that there's a 2-2 involved by the end of all this.
Oh, I am not taking that bet. I am not stupid. I will bet you $5 that Beza gets out of the tights, though.
Like, convinces her not to, or just like,
Convinces her not to.
okay. No, I don't want that bet either.
I missed you. She kind of like leans against him.
Yeah, same. I missed you too. Kind of furrows their brow a little bit, trying to not, like, we're not doing this again. I want to just, maybe we can help Eb out or something. If I gotta kill time as well.
Yeah, that sounds like a
The
good plan.
books.
Books are good. Let's, yeah. I'm sure we'll be able to find something interesting in this place. If not relevant, at least interesting.
Yeah, maybe he's got a restricted section.
Sounds good.
And he gets up off the windowsill and walks down the hall. When you guys pass Oliette's room, he kind of raps on the door with their knuckles and, we'll be downstairs. Guess if you want to be all dramatic with like a fashion show down the stairwell or something.
What's a fashion show?
Never mind.
I should have brought more moonshine.
And then you all hear Verlaine in your head. I don't know why I yelled. I gotta get used to that. Anyway. Part and I are gonna be downstairs.
All right. Does anyone else know what the point of like glitter is?
Torture. Unending, unwashable torture.
Have you ever heard of pocket sand? But make it colorful.
I don't have pockets.
We'll figure it out.
It makes
Don't.
you look like a disco ball. It's very eye
In
catching.
the best possible way.
Don't join.
We should be able to turn this off. You know what? Hold on a second.
Don't join the dark side, Beza. Don't. That way leads to nothing but sparkles.
I don't mind things that sparkle. I just don't know why it has to be on like everything.
The great question.
And what's the point of white tights? My
You
legs
know I'm
are
right
white.
here. I'm right here.
I'm asking for other opinions, just
Well,
in
this-
case.
It won't matter because you're going to look so good.
I am going to back away from this. I wash my hands of it because I don't have glitter on them and they will be clean after washing.
I'm pretty sure Uncle Ed would be very mad if we got glitter on his books, so I too will walk away from this conversation. Although, I did hear of a time that somebody's significant other complimented them on their white tights, except for they weren't wearing any.
How'd that go for you, Tessa?
Oh, I was mad as hell because I was not wearing white tights. I'm just very pale.
Incredible.
Jinx was like, honey, your tights look so good. I'm like, I'm not wearing any tights, babe.
Thanks for the compliment about my
Thanks.
bare legs, but yeah.
Thanks.
All right, so Paru and Verlaine head downstairs to go, poke around the stacks in case Eb needs help with research. That also will give him a little bit of a break so that he can run the shop, which is a little empty given the disturbance outside, but it takes a little bit, and eventually some people start coming in. Oliette and Beza, is there anything you wish to RP out, or just show us the aftermath? entirely.
I mean,
up
I
to
already
you.
know what I'm putting Beza in, so I don't
Okay.
have. I'm on a mission
Okay.
at this point. So.
I already know what she's gonna be wearing, so I don't need to convince her. of
Do
anything.
you?
No,
I don't know. You might.
that's what
I
I'm
don't know.
interpreting that as.
Oh.
It's like, oh no. She's already gonna be in a thing. It's just,
Oh yeah. That's already it. That's already it.
Beza doesn't usually wear clothes because she was carved with a certain degree of clothing that makes them unnecessary.
gilding the lily, as it were.
So she's probably, I mean, she's going to question things if she doesn't understand what stuff is, but she's pretty much
so
just going to let.
I'm
yeah,
so
something.
excited.
I'm afraid.
Did you see it? Yeah, did you see it? Yay!
Thank you, Alora.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I'm so excited.
Well, I know how that's gonna happen because I know where you're going tonight.
Yeah, it happened.
I'm so excited. Sorry.
We got a very generous NPC donation.
Ooh.
Oh.
Symbol?
Anyway,
Mhm.
so let's continue our story. This is gonna be a really nice, like, full circle story. I think. I don't even think it's intended, but like, it's really gonna come together by the end of the session. I think.
As a note, this is gonna take like an hour and a half.
Oh, that's fine. So
I know
so
we have time to
it's
kill, so we're gonna be up there for like a hot minute.
gonna be great.
Mhm.
So as you're doing that, Paru and Villain head downstairs, and Ebb is at the front desk. Like, it's basically a desk is the front counter. And he's looking through a bunch of books, and it takes a little while, but he allows you to peruse the stacks. He has a couple of books that he's basically like, if you'd like to assist with what I'm already looking at, I could give you some of I could give you some to look at if you'd like to help. We're looking for, and he produces a list of words and such things to cross-reference and compare. If you know any other languages, I have a stack here of non-common print. If you need to take a look, and maybe you can find anything vaguely related.
Yeah, I can speak a couple of different read a couple of different languages. Druidic, Goblin, Minotaur, and Vegapygmy. Any of those needs?
I do not have anything in those particular languages. Those are not. No, it's not your fault. They're just
They're
not
random.
commonly. They're not commonly published in.
Yeah,
is all.
that's fair.
But
I can help with the common ones then.
sure. And Villain Villain sort of glances at the books that he has, and sees. Oh well, I can look at that one, and he grabs it and starts flipping through. And you and Paro, you and Villain, you research for a little while. There is a point where you both are kind of bored out of your mind. You're just reading through things that have nothing to do with anything. You find like mythology and different origin stories and things like that, but there's not a lot that pings true as like looking for something for the Lord of Tales.
Okay.
And eventually, the front door of the bookshop the bookstore opens, and there's a woman that steps through. She looks like well, you hear her first, and then I take a second to pick out what she looks like because I prepped before. I decided to bring someone in before I had someone prepared. She is a human woman. She looks maybe middle-aged, maybe late 40s, early 50s. She has light tan skin and dark brown hair. Very much a smoky eye and dark lips, and she has gold hoops on, earrings, and she's wearing a very fine, like almost like a jade, not jade, but like a light green coat, like almost like military style, but more fashion. That has gold filigree all over it.
Coat, but make it fashion. Got it.
Yeah. And she comes in and offers a smile, and walks over to the desk, and hold on a moment, double checking something, because I'm super prepared today. So she comes over the desk and she says, "Ipsic, it has been a spell. How are you?" And Eb looks up and, Jacqueline, it's very nice to see you again. Going well.
Paru is immediately like.
I'm gonna watch Chris for a second here.
Paru's ear like twitches,
enjoy.
and she tries to catch Valaine's eyes, like,
I don't like this first name basis. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I am purely leaning on the fact that you announced in chat last week,
I know.
Uncle Eb's single, y'all. And I went,
Not for her. Not for Jacqueline.
you can't
Get your husky ass out of here.
You can't just decide that this
Can and I will. Okay, I'm sorry. Please.
I'm delighted.
anyway.
Paru is like,
Ears perking up.
Shenanigans afoot.
Even Valaine kind of glances at you like,
yeah, there's like a,
and they chat a little bit. I was informed that one of my orders came in. I figured I would drop by myself. It has been too long. Yes, it did. I have it. I can go check on that for you. Paru, mind the desk for me.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You just sit and watch the door and don't touch anything.
I can do that.
Thank you.
No problem.
If somebody asks you something that you need to touch something on the desk, call for me.
Yes, sir.
He wanders towards a shelf where there's a bunch of names kind of etched. It's very library-esque, where people have books set aside.
How tall is Uncle Eb?
Eb's pretty tall. He's thin and lanky.
So Paru has to like
probably he's
climb
definitely
chair.
Sure. He's probably on the south side of 6 feet.
Oh yeah, Paru is having to climb.
A little hard, but Valaine's like, "Would you like me to get you a box?" you need a
I'm good.
You need a stool.
No, I'm good, but thank you.
Pillows. I could go. Why am I? We're in a bookshop. I could get you some textbooks. Maybe a dictionary.
He might murder you.
Mm-hmm. So no, you don't.
No,
gotcha. He looks back at his book.
Is Jacqueline's like right?
Jacqueline is waiting at the desk, and she offers you a polite nod, and she just is watching Eb go to the back of the books.
Paru is taking everything in because Paru is nothing if not a meddler in other people's love lives.
She seems to be a very put together woman. She is very she's got a very elegant air to her, but very Okay, I mean, clearly, just the way she was kind of carrying herself, she has a bit of a boldness to her. But yeah, she seems like a lady who probably could like own her own business or something. She seems very, like I said, put together.
With my very good insight, am I able to pick up that she might be interested in him, or if she's like
Oh, I
kind of
mean,
checking
she's
him out?
definitely watching him do
Oh,
that.
excellent. Okay.
Okay, so, Shadow, Sylvia, can you please give me the name of who's going to be affected by this wheel of causality that's about to happen?
No, I didn't see it
Uh,
come in, and I'm so
we
scared
have-
now.
We have Paru, who is currently right next to, this new woman. We have Valaine, who's also in the room. Oliette and Beza are upstairs. I am going to make a guess. Yeah, you get to pick who gets affected. It has to be one of the PCs, though. If I might recommend Paru, just because she's currently right next to this lady, because it would be very funny.
I'm like terrified right now.
Oh, don't be terrified. It might just happen to you instead of Paru.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, Sylvia, go ahead and let us know who you want.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
yeah. All right, so
Yeah.
definitely Paru. Right. So
All right, 1
in
second.
this
Let me
little
pull up
lull of in this little lull of a moment, we will get this going. Let me.
ahead. Ignore our broken cameras for a half a second.
It's fine. All right, spin the wheel.
I'm so afraid. I'm so afraid right now. Oh no!
Good.
Flump apocalypse.
Oh no. Okay.
Oh,
Oh, thank you, Sylvia. Thank you so much.
no.
Thank you.
I'm dead.
Uh-huh.
We're
Flump
alive, but
apocalypse.
we're dead.
Okay.
Oh shit. Okay.
Tessa, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a
Mm.
big or little.
Oh, I'm afraid. Big.
Roll me a 1d10.
Mm. 7.
7. So there's a noise above you, Paru. Fum, 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 fum.
Haru is
Fum.
not looking, just not looking.
You feel that little all of you in the house feel that little shiver. Very familiar. Valaine might not recognize what that is. He kind of
Yeah.
and he glances up, and there's a shadow hovering, like kind of drifting over your desk, and then another. And there's just like this little shade over as the light from the ceiling is being blocked, not only partially blocked, by something that might be considered translucent.
So,
See,
Jacqueline, how did you meet Uncle Eb? She's trying so hard to ignore what's happening above.
oh, you're not Oliette, are you?
Oh, no. I am a friend of Oliette's.
Ah, I see. The uncle threw me. No,
Sorry.
this is fine. Ebzik and I are former associates. I used to run a shop, another bookshop in town. Previously,
nice.
no longer. But cannot help but still feel a bit attached to the kind of place. So Eb was very fortunate. Well, that's not giving him enough credit, I suppose. But Eb was able to manage to keep his shop afloat. So I patronize as best I can.
Oh my, we've got a new subscriber.
Thank you, Kyle. We must support small business as best we can in these times.
Absolutely.
Valaine
looks like.
You see tendrils, lots of them, of 7 adult flumps that are on near the ceiling. They are absurd looking. These big football shaped creatures made of like almost yellowish skin. They're jellyfish in consistency. Their tendrils are all bright blue, and there's these basically two eye stalks with googly eyes on the ends of them. They look real dumb. But they are slowly drifting down from actually, some of them are drifting down. Some of them have started meandering towards the bookshelves on the second floor.
Oh, Villain, why don't you see if you can maybe direct those visitors perhaps to another location? I'm not entirely sure what they are.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'll just go do that.
We'll try to maybe get these ones.
And Jacqueline looks up. Oh, that is new.
Not sure where they just came from.
Abzik, have you been experimenting with conjuring aberrations
Got a new subscriber
lately? And Abzik's, what I no, I have not. That is I do.
They just sort of materialized. I will try and shoo them to the front door, perhaps.
And Oliet and Beza, you hear in your head, maybe cut that fashion show off early. Chaos bullshit downstairs. Jellyfish creatures. I hesitate to say monster because I think one of them is pulling out a physics textbook. I don't know. You should come down. And Para, you watch as this is going on in all of your heads, the flumps all like shudder a little bit and glance around, and they all kind of look at Verlaine. And they sort of float a little bit towards him. Faster, please. And they all kind of shudder again when he does that.
Jellyfish.
What?
We're coming downstairs. What's a jellyfish?
Think of a fish made of jelly. I don't know. Come downstairs, please.
They've got like some weird dangly bits on them.
They all glance at you, Paru. Like they all shiver a little bit and they all look at you. Not like aggressive, just curious.
She kind of looks at them and then thinks at one of them. Can you hear me?
Shivers a little bit. Sort of. Sorry, I'm not selling the stupid look on these things' faces. There you go.
Can I help you find any books?
And you just knowledge. A place of knowledge.
Yes, it's a place of knowledge. She begins to speak out loud at the same time that she's thinking it, so Jacqueline doesn't look at her like she's insane. Is there a type of knowledge I can help you find? They're telepathic, it seems to be.
philosophy, mathematics, metaphysics, religion,
Lots of those.
anthropology.
Definitely lots of those.
And one of them is like next to Ebb, and Ebb's just like.
Evan, they seem to be looking for studies on anthropology, mathematics, physics, philosophy. What segment of the store might I direct them to?
All of it. I mean, sorry, and he starts pointing them out. And a couple of the flumps just kind of wobble away. Jacqueline's just like, fascinating. Ebb, do you know what these are? You said aberration. I can, and he like looks through a bunch of books that he has next to him, and he pulls out this kind of old ratted tome, and he starts flipping through. Psychic, telepathic abilities, locomotion is floating based. Okay. And he starts like basically figuring things out, and
what should we call you, friends? She kind of thinks. I've never encountered anyone like you before.
we are a cloister. I seek knowledge. You have knowledge.
Indeed.
Blub, blub.
We are
Sort of the noise they make out loud.
happy to help you find the knowledge.
Mm-hmm. And Verlaine, he sort of resists the urge to telepathically communicate with the rest of you again. Oh yeah, there's a.
Yeah, I feel like we're probably downstairs at this point.
Yeah, like he shouts, and you guys are just stepping down, and you
What?
see.
What is
If they
that?
messaged, I wouldn't. They don't sound that bad. I'm sure it's fine. Whatever. It's not a big deal. They sound fine.
So you
At
end
the
up downstairs.
scream. Yeah.
You end up downstairs, and you see these massive. Well, massive. They're small creatures, so they're like the size of. They're like about this big, with the tentacles and stuff. So they're probably Paru sized.
Oh God.
Yeah, they're about your size, Paru.
They're the same
Feet tall.
But they're just kind of like looking through. Their tentacles are just kind of. One of them like pulls out a book and kind of looks at it funny, trying to operate it, I guess. And Ebb looks back at you, Oliette, in a little bit of a. They appeared. They did not come through the door. I do not know where they came from.
Perhaps it's an additional method of locomotion for them. I imagine
Could
that
also-
doorknobs would be difficult to manipulate with tentacles.
Maybe could also be more of the chaos happening, residual from the parade.
Could be.
And Jacqueline goes, "Oh dear, there was a chaotic event. Yes, nearly 100 people involved this time. Oh goodness, they are getting worse, aren't they? It appears so. Oh, Jacqueline, this is my niece Oliette.
Hold that thought. Check this out. I'm gonna cast dancing lights to put 4 spotlights on the ground. Beza, go into the lights. Do the spin that I taught you. Do the spin that I taught you. Spin and pop your hip.
Yes.
Spin and then pop your hip.
All right.
Bend
we go.
and snap, Beza. Bend
You
and
need to
snap.
look. You need to look a little angry, just a little.
Hey,
Slightly pissed.
for the record, Beza looks like a Sailor Scout from Sailor Moon.
Oh my
my
god,
Like
yes.
a glitter bomb. Like I took my old drab clothing when I was a kid, and I had one outfit that I hid from Uncle Eb under my bed, and it's just this glittered, like bedazzled, ridiculous.
And Olliet would sneak out to cons.
Absolutely.
Oh my god, yes. I
There's
am
a
here
tiara and
for
everything.
This.
Oh dear lord.
You
Yeah,
look
that's
amazing.
Incredible.
Head.
Artist,
Jeez.
go.
Right? Oh my god.
I still don't know why I gotta wear the white gloves.
But you look so hello. Like tell her without the gloves the whole thing would fall apart.
Villian's just blankly blinking.
What do you know? I don't know.
Nothing. I should immediately remove myself from this judgment.
Oh
This judging.
Olliet, you should definitely go meet Jacqueline. She's very interesting and amazing. And Paru away.
Jacqueline, this is my niece Oliette. Jacqueline looks very confused. I'm so sorry. Eb led me to believe that you were. She kind of like down what your height would have been when you were a child. It's wonderful to finally meet you. Ebzik has told me much about you. Well, I thought much about you, but and Eb goes, extenuating circumstances. She was on an internship. That does not quite explain as much as you think it does, but we can talk about that. Elliot, it's very lovely to meet you. My name is Jacqueline. I used to run the Emporium de Arcana, the district nearby. I no longer operating, but still feel the need to show my support.
I'm so sorry. What was your name again?
Jacqueline Delacroix.
I don't think Uncle Eb ever mentioned you. That's so odd. Well, it's nice to meet you. We should probably get this taken care of. So.
Oh yes, please. She's
Paru is like
not.
making this face from behind the book, like, are you kidding me right now?
She seems very not concerned. She's very cool and collected, like, oh yes, if you must.
Like the stepmom in A Parent Trap. But I got my eye on you.
No, she's nicer than that.
Watching you.
First of all, I am distinctly pro positive step parent personification. I do not abide by evil step parents. If anything, my bio parent characters are the ones who typically are worse.
Fair. Same. Same.
Half the people in chat can abide by that. So you all, you and Beza see these flumps. A few of them kind of are heading for different books. Two of them kind of like bump into each other. As they head
So
over
what
to
are these things? Can y'all go home?
They're seeking knowledge. They're mainly looking for mathematics, philosophy, She looks over at one of
metaphysics, life
Metaphysics.
sciences, gravitational studies, cosmology,
They're
all
telepathic.
knowledge.
Oh,
Yeah.
that explains why I hear you in my head, like when we use the book.
Bloom, bloom, bloom. Just like little googly eyes. Gotcha.
If they're getting annoying, no.
This one seems to be
No,
interesting.
no.
And she pulls out a random book and opens it. Like, here you go. Perhaps this is of interest.
Like reaches for the book.
I just randomly picked one off the shelves. I have no idea what it is.
It it pulls it out, and you watch as this sort of like neutral eggshell color that the flump was starts flickering, and like almost like an octopus starts flickering into like a green color. Ooh. And like grabs the book and kind of looks at it and starts like weirdly peeling the book open and like trying to turn pages. They're not slimy at all. They're just bloop, bloop, bloop. That's just the sound they all make. Doing everything. One of them, well, two of them have started, like, you see Verlaine sort of in the corner. Like, this is fucking weird.
This is very strange.
And one of them kind of starts like floating towards them. And like, hi.
Fling finger guns at them.
Awkward finger guns.
With one
And the flump sort of like looks at him, and you see them kind of meet eyes a little, and he's a little weirded out. And the flump turns a very dull blue and just kind of
Huh.
And one of the other ones kind of notes it and kind of also comes down and gets up, and Verlaine says, I'm good. You guys can like find books other places. You want this book? You can have this book. You can just have that one. And the other one near him also kind of looks and just kind of slumps a little bit and goes this like dim blue. I could use some backup here. That'd be great if you could like move them.
If you want knowledge, I'm all right talking to you. I don't know a lot, but I'm a different kind of creature.
And like two or three of them float over to you, and they turn this bright green.
She looks around them at Verlaine. You're welcome.
Thank you. They turn bright green, and they kind of glance. And Beza, do you show off at all? Do you like show them anything?
Sure. She takes off the gloves before she pulls out one of her blades, and she purposely aims the blade not at the creatures, but she's afraid that if she ruins the gloves, Oliette will kill her.
Sure. And as you flick one of your swords out, all of them float back a little bit, and they all flicker red real quick, and then they're back to green, and then they kind of turn this like warm pink, and they're just like, oh. And they just kind of like, they're like poking at the knife.
Oh my god, that's adorable.
And Ebb goes, yes, I believe that he's like in the back in the stack somewhere. I think I might have found something that looks to be some sort of telepathic aberration creature. Prefers don't know what they're doing in this biome. They seem to prefer underground.
Oh.
But colloquially, they're called flumps.
How do you get them to go away?
Well, it's not really like a pest control manual, dear.
Well, I mean, if they're looking
They're
for
not
knowledge, they're not.
Sorry, you're not pests. You're highly sophisticated psychic beings.
Paro's gonna go back over to Jacqueline and go, what Ebb meant when he was talking about the internship is, well, all of us were on the internship together. That's how we met. But it was interplanar. So we had a little bit of a hiccup coming back, and some aging happened.
Oh, well, dear. I hope not terribly traumatizing of an experience to do that. Did you experience all of this time, or were you just sort of aged?
We experienced it, yeah.
So a pocket dimension or some sort of time flux.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah,
yes.
So that, I mean, as far as I was confirmed, Oliette was little. Well, I mean, I'm still the same size, but you know, I don't really grow much more than this. So.
And
Paro Tara's like got this "I'm helping" vibe going on.
And he goes, they are they feed off psionic energies. They prefer positive energy, so happy thoughts would be best to keep them calm and relaxed. And
I have not stopped mean mugging old leggy McGee over here.
Leggy McGee, oh my god.
He
Put
says,
those knees away.
Oh,
when he says that, Beza looks around at all the flumps looking at her and just uses the book. You guys are really interesting, and I love my friends. Is that positive enough?
the couple of them, you still have a few around you, and they kind of just like start floating near you, and they're all kind of looking at each other and kind of having some sort of communication. And yeah, so that's good. Yes, Beza, very very good. They perhaps they're not aggressive overtly. They simply passively feed off of psychic energy. They're sort of grazers.
Oh.
They just sort of float about and collect what they can sense. They do not abide very well with notions of violence or evil or just unpleasantness. So yes, happy thoughts, everyone, please. And the another flump has wandered towards Villain and does that like sad sort of blue slump again. Okay, I get it. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I get it. You're a mood ring. Go away. And it kind of gets a little closer to him, and his eye stalks are kind of, and Villain gets a little weirded out, like has a little bit of a little like more stern expression on his face. And they have this little like eye contact moment for a little bit. And eventually the blue kind of subsides from the flump. And one of its tentacles had kind of like moved on.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That flump is like, you need therapy,
I'm
my
emotionally
man.
compromised by a flump.
Wouldn't be the first time.
That's right.
You're lucky I haven't named them. So eventually they're just kind of wandering around, and Eb's like, they and one of them's like making eye contact with Eb. They seem intrigued at the prospect of a repository of information. And he kind of thinks a little bit, and one of them, all of them turn blue. And he's, I mean, of course, you can stay as long as you need. And they all kind of shift back to white. They start floating again. I suggested that perhaps they move on, and I think that hurt their feelings.
We Pro would think we're also seeking other repositories of knowledge. There's more than just this one, and maybe if we find it, we can tell you where it is, so you can get even more information and more knowledge.
What manner of repository?
Apparently, it's very ancient, and she kind of gives a overview of the archive. We're not sure where it is yet, but
you actually think the Great Archive?
Yeah.
And they all shift to this very bright green. The Great Archive.
We don't know where it is yet.
Holy place. A great lost place.
That's what we're seeing.
Yes. We wish to go there, yes. We could spend our days there. a
if
lifetime or more,
it's,
and never find the same thing twice.
do you know where it might be?
No.
Yeah, with us either, but we're looking for it. Kyle,
God damn.
Why did I do
You know
it?
better.
Why did I look?
you know
You know
better.
I knew better.
You know better.
All the look on your face. I should have known not to go poking around. Oh. Anyway,
As soon as we know where it is, we will share that knowledge with you, so you might go there as well.
you see them all kind of shift to pink. We would appreciate that. Yes, our cloister, the first to find the great archive, and they're all just like, whoa. They're just like a bunch of Muppets, very excited.
What if
Like
we
the
split
alien.
up into
Nope,
teams?
nope.
What if we split up into teams and we all look, and you take your team and you go look? You go that way and we'll go this way, and that'll cover half the ground. You know.
You are trying to make us leave
Yeah, I am.
I'm not.
through ruse and deception, obfuscation.
Usually it goes better than that.
That is something you believe to be true.
Oh, I like them.
We
a lot.
we cannot sense the verisimilitude of your statements. Just what do you think about them? Playing a flump is the funnest thing I've ever done.
I love this. I just do popcorn. This is great.
Hey, good job. Oliet, it's fine. Perhaps I could just perhaps we could get to know each other, and they could take a look at the store, and I could find out more about where they came from and what they are seeking.
Do you guys always remember everything that you read?
We have only existed for 128 seconds.
Oh my god.
All right, but do you remember actually, yeah, it's hard when you're just born, huh? But
She actually gets it.
Oh.
Quite disorienting, but the Great Archive would be a wondrous way to spend our time span.
yeah, it does sound interesting. It's definitely nice to learn new stuff when you're just born, especially if you're able to process it. Apparently, human babies can't do that. That's a weird thing.
Goblin babies
Ebb.
can't either.
Ebb kind of is Ebb steps in front of the desk and excuse me, Jacqueline. And she's like, no, of course. And he looks to the front door and glances out. If you all just appeared in existence, I would recommend you do not leave. Traveling outside would possibly not be safe if anyone was to detect their appearance.
That is a good point.
Yeah, definitely.
My depending on the
Bless you.
thank you. Depending on the manner of energy signature that their appearance created, it could be masked by the hubbub outside. That might not trigger another detection.
That is a good idea.
So
Excellent
if you were all to stay here, there's lots of room. And he points at the ceiling. There's lots of room if you need. And he kind of looks to you, Oliet, with this very, very apologetic look on his face. You know he's a sucker and he can't say no to people when he wants to be nice.
Plus, they literally turn blue.
Yeah, they were very sad. He might have gotten a sense of how sad they all were at the same time.
Oh,
Like,
I mean,
I need
when
to get you in a
it's
scene, Kyle. I need to shut your brain down.
Uncle Up, I mean, when was if it would be easier for you to conduct your business with Jacqueline in one of the side rooms or maybe in the back? Would it be easier to take some
No,
time and
no,
have some
I
tea?
I don't. Elaine just kind of like that's canon. I don't know what you're talking about, Chris. Like that's still laughing on that. Elaine holds onto the pen and tries to lower it to the table. Like easy. She seems perfectly nice. It's like easy. Who are you? Me? Put the knife down. And Jacqueline. No, Evzik, I can take my delivery and pay you, and I could be on my way. You seem very. You seem like you have your home quite full at the moment. I wouldn't want to add yet another person for you to have to mind. It's fine. And Ebzik says, "Well, if you have any other thoughts about what we could learn about them, could use your help." I think you, and she glances at you, Oliet. I think you have it well in hand. I'll make a point to I'll stop by again soon though, don't worry, I won't be a stranger. And he gives her the books. It's like a stack of 3 books. And she takes them and she nods. Thank you, Ebsik. Oliet, it was very lovely to finally meet you.
What? I'm sorry. What?
Have a good day, dear.
Sorry,
And she...
time stuff kind of scrambled us a little bit when we came back.
Yes, I'm sure.
It was very nice to meet you, and I'm sure
you.
that I would enjoy it when you stop by again.
You have a good day, dear. And she leaves. She's immune to Oliet's bitchery. It's fine.
I
She's
haven't
fully
even turned it on yet.
She was the original mean girl. She knows all your tricks.
Yeah, right? God, I have given you no indication that she's mean. She's just fancy.
I am
God,
the alpha female in this house.
that seems very healthy.
That is... Oh my God, Heather!
And so Eb walks her to the door. They have a little bit of a goodbye, just a little like good night.
I literally am like peering around the corner like angry anime girl, just like flames behind my head.
There's like a Verlaine hand, like a Verlaine finger that just goes. Sends you back.
I want to see.
Don't be a pest, God. You don't like a lady nudging in on your territory or something? Like, God, you look like a goddamn she lion. And don't get me wrong, not a bad look. Not very complimentary though. What was that?
What do you mean?
You looked like that time somebody wore pink on a day other than Wednesday.
First of all, it's a cardinal sin, so I don't understand why we keep having this conversation.
But it's not. It's just a color. I don't know what you're trying. It's just a color.
Second of all, Uncle Eb is busy with the love of his life and her friends.
Got it.
I'm only mostly joking. It's just we just got here. Like, wait. Like, get your books tomorrow.
Like she knew that we were here.
How? I mean, she should have. Don't ask me how.
Uh-huh.
Get out of my face. And I'm just going to storm off.
Uh-huh.
Go make some tea or do something.
This is going to be easier than I thought it was going to be. And he kind of walks. All he needed was a reminder of that, like, right in the thick of it. Like, what is it like being around Oliette at her worst impulses?
She
Okay.
seems quite lovely.
She
says to Uncle Eb.
Yes. We've worked together for quite a while in the bookkeepers guild, but that has disbanded. I am the sole member of that technically in terms of eligibility. So, it is nice to see someone from the old days.
If I am not out of line, I would say that perhaps it would be nice to take her to a cup of tea sometime so you can. There's no reason that you need the Booksellers Guild to enjoy company.
I don't know when I would have time. I run the shop. That is most of my days. And when it is not most of my days, I am trying to, any sort of pauses. I suppose I have more free time than I usually did.
Try a mealtime. You can't. You need to make sure you eat. So maybe.
Oh, I don't think Oliette would like her eating any food she's made.
So take her out somewhere where Oliette is not. I'm sure they have restaurants in this town.
I will take your advice under advisement. Thank you.
You're welcome. She seems like a lady who knows what she wants, and I liked her vibe.
Vibe?
Her demeanor. She seemed very well put together.
Yes, she comes from a long line of, well, the last of her line, I suppose, running the shop, the Emporium. And he kind of clams up after that.
That was all part wanted was just enough of a nudge to be like, you should do something there. And then
there's a flump behind him that's like kind of in green.
Paru locks out the flump like, yeah, you know what I was talking about.
Okay.
Paru is such a shit. She's in everybody's love life. I'm so sorry, guys.
Except for her own, says the furball waiting at the other farm.
If she was here.
So, let's skip ahead a little bit. Nothing really eventful is going to happen because of those flumps. I will say they're going to hang around a while. So thank you, Sylvia. I think Eb's got some new bookkeep employees.
Thanks, Candle.
I love them.
We'll run a contest or something. If you guys want to throw in some names in chat, we'll name the 7 flumps. Because it's very much it's Eb White and the 7 flumps.
Dead.
Anyway, let's skip ahead a little bit. Let's skip ahead a little bit to the evening.
I cannot tell you how much I love flumps, you guys. I love them so much.
It's pretty great.
I only recently found out that they were actually psychic creatures. I had no idea until like
they are intelligent and sage-like and wise, and they look like the inside of a Stretch Armstrong. Okay.
I love them so much.
One of them will be named Encyclopedia. Yes.
Oh my god, yes.
One of them named Thesaurus, one of them named Atlas, one of them named
I
go with it. Go with it.
gotta write
Name
this
them.
down. Lexicon is
Yes,
good.
please. Yes. Put them all in chat and Tessa will keep track of them and we'll name them.
Oh,
Different types
Derpy is
of
Dewey.
Dewey.
Oh my god, yes.
Decimal system.
That's very good.
Oh my god, I'm dead.
So,
This is amazing.
yeah, it's very good. Okay, so the evening starts getting closer, and you all are. It is entirely up to you if you leave before it starts getting late, or if you head off to be there on time.
We want to show up like 5 minutes late.
Do you
Elliot,
remember where
can't
you?
be
Do you
eager.
remember where this place? What this place is?
That was my next question.
Okay.
Can
What-
I estimate where this might have been so I can arrive fashionably late?
Oh my god. Yes, you have a street. You have the street address, and you could essentially within a ballpark.
Beautiful.
So I would say go ahead and roll me a general intelligence check as you try to
Oh.
Google map this shit.
Oh man. Intelligence? Okay.
There you go. They have been named.
That's an 18.
Nice. Yes. Go ahead and we'll say that you're able to get within a ballpark of you could get there 5 minutes. You could get there a few minutes late if you
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
At this clockwork mechanist city. Great. Anyway,
Whatever.
that doesn't really matter. So you all head out for this place. God damn it, Bex. That's very good. Okay, so you all start following Oliad, who knows the town pretty well. It's a grid system. It's very easy to follow around if you're given the basically letters and it's an alphanumeric system. I don't remember what I said last time. It's not a big deal. I probably was planning on changing the address anyway. And you arrive at what looks to be a residence. It is a this place has kind of cookie cutter homes, like townhomes. They are a couple stories tall, maybe like 20 feet, 30 feet across. So they're small and narrow, all lined up next to each other. And you arrive at a residence. There is an upstairs and a downstairs. They both seem to be assigned to the same number. Like maybe it's just a second entrance to the home. And it is a few minutes past midnight. It's nighttime. I can't hear anything with you, Chris.
Ah, I was muted. I
There you
said,
go.
do we hear anything inside? Anybody milling around? Does the
You
house
do not. There are a couple of lights on upstairs.
Can I
Knock?
are the drapes open?
No, but they're not like there's light. They're sheer. You don't see anything.
Can I just fly up
Um,
and through the windows?
I forgot you could fly. Yeah, sure.
I do that.
So yeah, you fly up. You glance through one of the windows. It's a house. It's actually the person's in a library. There's a person sitting in a chair, kind of writing in a book at a fireplace. You see. Let me see what you see. Yeah, you just see a silhouette of a person right now in a chair.
I'll just go back down.
Okay.
Are we sure this is the right house? There's just somebody like reading up there.
On the lower door. Okay. You you knock on the door down there, and it takes a moment. You kind of waiting, like, what's happening? And then a slidey thing on the door opens, and you see two sort of bottle cap eyes blinking at you very widely.
Who are you? Why?
The door closes. You hear, and then the door opens. And you are in the middle of a bar. There is noise. You are pulled in. The rest of you are like, come on. And you see a monodrone, like a rectangular dude with two eyes, big, like, bulbous eyes. Come on, inside. Inside. Gosh.
Sorry, was
Get
there a
going.
password or something? I didn't know.
No, but you're late.
Over here now.
Vector probably likes you a lot. And
Probably not. I promise you, probably not.
And the monodrone, this duodrone. So it's monodrones are the whole species, and there's the modron. No, the modrones are the whole species.
Mm-hmm.
Monodrones are the orbs. Duodrones are the blocky ones. Yep. I always think of them as the bits from Reboot.
Yes.
The binaries from Reboot. So that person definitely played Planescape. But you get close in, and there's light in here. Kind of, it's not a dingy bar, but it's really weird to hear this music going on. And the duodrone locks the door. You see, there's just like all sorts of like, there's like a fucking turn wheel. Like, there's all sorts of weird devices to lock this door. And the duodrone's like, yeah, just go on inside. You can get something from Mike if you want.
Thanks.
And there is there's a crowd of people. Well, not people. There's a crowd of modrons in here. Not queuing. It's very unsettling. And you hear a little like cheering from a little group as one of them pulls a piece of paper from a big fishbowl and is like, yeah, and they're all like, yeah. They're all clapping. And at the bar, you see a very big fellow. I'd call him barrel-chested because it looks like he has a barrel for a chest. Made of wood and metal, this kind of like construct creature with like a hinged mouth and this mesh on his chest that looks like a radio and these dials, and it's a warforged. It's like a wooden metal creature hanging out behind the bar.
Cool.
And he's just sort of like chatting along with a couple of modrons that are at the bar. And I'll put a picture in chat if y'all want to see what he looks like.
Yes,
I will put credit later. And he's just kind of like happy-go-lucky, big burly sort of dude. And he's very distracted by just kind of entertaining folks. Villain is just like, what? I thought we were the weird thing.
suppose we see Harland anywhere, do we?
It's a big crowd, and there are a couple of rooms that go in the back, so you don't see Harlan just yet.
Okay.
I'm also waiting for Tessa to come back before I introduce Harlan.
This place is awesome. I guess I don't have to worry about hiding it. And she takes off her cloak.
Yeah, and like a couple of Modrons like kind of push past. Like, don't these things like don't like noise and weird shit, right? Like that's like their deal.
Mentally, just in case. Maybe they're all part of the resistance that Vector was talking about. But just in case, we shouldn't say that out loud.
Yeah, sure. Oh, let's check the bar out.
I'm pretty sure these drinks are comped, so we should.
Okay.
Why wouldn't they be? We got invited to this party.
Verlaine just kind of rolls his eyes and heads for the bar. And this big Warforged kind of lumbers and turns to see you all. And the hinge of his mouth sort of widens a little in a smile. He's got these little bright teal eyes, little energy pulsing, a little bit of like kind of a flamey sort of energy pulse going on in his eyes. What can I do you for?
Vector said we get drinks here.
Oh, little guy. So you are new recruits then?
I guess.
Or hopeful converts, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, well, welcome. I'm Mike. It's nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Don't get a lot of organics in here, so there's lots of booze.
Wonderful.
You got one less. She taps her forehead.
Oh, well, I won't judge you for it. That's fine. So, what can I get you? Looks to Oliette.
Something clear and ice cold.
Water it is.
Not water.
He grins.
No, Mike.
Something harder than that.
Yes, please.
Okay. I make a mean lemonade.
I leave. He blows.
No, I gotcha. And he pulls out a bottle, and you're like, yes, bottle, alcohol bottle, and you. I'm just making sure. Yeah, okay, I haven't missed anything. I was like, oh god. Yeah, so he pours you just big, generous pour. You get the sense like he doesn't pour drinks much for people. So you got this like big glass of ice full of alcohol, full of probably vodka.
All right.
Just nurse it.
Beautiful.
What about and he gets something for Verlaine. And he kind of glances behind the bar. What about that? Okay, sure. And he pulls it out, and it's got it appears to be Diamond Schlager. And on the bottle it says something about like you could resurrect a whole person with this, but you're choosing to drink it.
Wow.
And
Wow.
and so he
Nice.
pours a short glass of it, and it's got this kind of glitter vibe in it. You're not sure it's actual diamond. It might just be an affectation. And so Verlaine picks it up and thanks. He kind of smells it. He's like, it kind of smells like fruit snacks.
It looks cute on you.
Thank you.
Paru, what do you want to drink?
What do you recommend? I mean, all I've ever really had is either moonshine or sticky mud. So I'm sure there's an in-between.
Not really.
How about, okay, if you're new, how about I get you something easy, something fun? Yeah, I got you covered.
Awesome.
And Mike goes into the pulls out. Basically, he makes you a Shirley Temple, but then throws a bunch of booze in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got like a whole bunch of maraschino cherries. He is being so generous with his pours because literally you seem like you're the only organic people that have been in here in quite some time. And you see as a monodrone comes up to the bar and like hops up and goes, Mike, we want to pull from the jar. No, okay. All right, hold on. It's fine. All right, hold on. Excuse me. Duty calls. And he pulls out the fishbowl, lifts it up, and he goes, all right, we have another. Wishes to take a draft from the jar of probability. And he puts it down on the table, and there's paper in the jar, all in it, filled with little strips of paper. And the monodrones are all like,
and they're really excited. Pound it going on.
Yeah. And the monodrone just kind of, with his little stick fingers, is kind of like, and like fidgets around in it for a little bit, pulls a piece of paper out, and everyone goes, yay! Before he even looks at it. And he goes, oh, what sort of randomly chosen fate have you decided for this evening, little man? And he pulls out, he like pulls it out, kind of looks at it. I get to do the dishes! And everyone goes, hey! And he's like, a prestigious choice. Yes, very good. You can start over there.
Genius.
And he's like, hey, you just give him wonders over.
That's freaking brilliant.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
Thank you. They get real excited when they don't know what's gonna happen, so they just kind of keep the place clean.
I mean,
What was your name? I'm so sorry.
What did you say?
What was your name again?
Open mic.
Mike, I'm all yet. I like the way you do business.
Thank you. I do my best, do my part for the cause, but also keep the place spick and span, you know.
Quick
that's
question.
actually really brilliant.
It really is.
Thank you.
Mike. Open mic? OM? What do you like? You like Mike? Okay. Have you seen a fella kind of blue in the face? About yay high, like trying to reach up a little bit?
You all are friends with Harland. He's a good guy, is Harland. Yeah, he's over in the VIP section. Over there. Making friends in high places, your friend is.
Interesting.
All right. Just head over there.
So there's like literally a velvet rope. And there's no one guarding it. You just like step over it if you want to. That's what Elaine does. He just hops over it. He's like best security ever. And you all head towards this sort of cool lit dark back room that has a single table, and you see a very familiar painted monodrone. You see and you hear the little tweeting of his bird, like sort of fluttering around. And you see Harland sitting at this table with a drink in hand and looking very Harland, not looking very concerned about anything. And beside him, chuckling at something Harland just said, you see an absolute fucking peacock of a man. He has... It changed and it was brilliant. He has a white fur coat on that's like quilted except for like the fur on the edges of it. He has rings on his fingers. His nails are painted a metallic purple. It's more of a magenta. Goes real well with the glitter all over his beard. He's got this black hair with a little shock of white, like kind of salt and pepper, and pale skin. And he has he has like a nice full beard that goes down like by here, covered in pink glitter. And he just like, Harlan, it is an absolute travesty that I have just met you this evening.
He has a thing for rogues too, if I remember
He
canonically.
does have a thing for rogues.
Canonically so.
Hell yeah.
I must say, I have been wondering where a gentleman such as yourself has been all of my life.
You charmer.
Oh my god.
So, Vector, when did you say the rest of your champions were arriving? Oh, they should be here any time. It's almost it's past midnight. They should be here. And he spins like completely around his eyeball, and he sees you all at the like outside the door. Oh, they have arrived. Please come into the inner circle.
Oh, hey, y'all.
And Pimble sort of like leans his name is Pimble. Leans his arm over the chair. Oh, a equally motley crew. I'm excited. Well, give or take a few. And he nods at Oliette. Please come sit. Completely. Anyway, hi, I'm Pimble. It's very nice to meet all of you. I hear you're all partaking in a little bit of guerrilla warfare.
Are we?
I guess we are
Vector,
now.
Vector led me to believe, and Harland has not argued the point.
Harlan?
Well, I mean, he hadn't said anything that I directly oppose yet, so
The
I'll figure
iron
out here and now.
fist of the iron fist of the Clockwork Authority should and must be overthrown.
Yeah, Iron Fist. Yep.
I think it's more of a bronze or brass, personally.
Vector, I do have a question for you.
Yes, Comrade Beza.
How many members are in this resistance group exactly?
Oh, that is an important bit of information that should not be shared. It's a terrible security threat.
All right. So
One
just
must
tell
never
me
know how many and in what configuration.
That's all right. Just give me an idea. You don't have to give me an exact number, and I don't need to know the configuration. Would it take both hands to count it?
He glances
are
around the
10.
room. He glances around the room, his eye kind of going at each of you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
There are enough.
Oh,
All right,
Vector.
that answers my question.
Pimple's like, I mean, don't forget me, old chum. That is correct. Pimble is worth many more than whatever number I'm not telling you we have.
That is good to know. I'm Paru, and she shakes Pimble's hand.
Haru, pleasure.
Nice to meet you. I'm Beza.
And you all know Harland. I'm sorry, what was your name? And he offers a hand.
Oh, Oliette.
Absolute pleasure. He kisses the back of your hand. So, you all have your drinks. We have our brains of the operation. Not to cut to the chase or anything, but I do have places to be.
More fabulous than this? With these fabulous folks? And
Exceedingly,
yours truly?
my friend. Oh, well, dulling in comparison in your absence, of course.
The spotlight doth shine upon many of my friends.
Literally earlier, you missed it. But Oliette had one shining on me when she displayed my new outfit.
It's really cute.
It is quite stylish.
Yeah, look at you.
It was supposed to make me blend in more.
Not happening, dear.
No, I thought it was open mic night. You have to like show out a little bit. So that's why I added the extra glitter. That's what took so long.
Never apologize for extra glitter.
Oh my God.
Sweater daddy who?
I did just, by the way, Chris, just put the canonical face claim what inspired Pimble into our chat so you can see.
Stop it. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I love him so much.
Oh, Pimble, we love you.
Welcome back to the show, Pimble.
It's been too long.
So you all take a seat in this quiet, not so quiet room. And Vector sort of puts his hands on the table. Now, we must discuss. There's just this quiet at the table.
Disgust.
Guess
Pimble's
what?
like, are you going to be starting the conversation? Oh, yes. We have several pots on the fire, as it were, plans in place, sabotage and obfuscation to try to lessen the grip on the city at large that the Mechanist Authority seems to lord over everyone.
All right.
We are well. Pimble goes, Vector, maybe rewind a little bit. Oh, yes. And Harland, you've heard this story already.
Probably a couple times. He's probably rehearsed it.
Probably. I, Vector 2 Gamma, was once a member of a reconnaissance team down into the underground, looking to maintain and contain the chaotic energies that are held at bay beneath the city, beneath the chronograms, all of them, each one a vector of this chaotic energy. Think ley lines, but for magic energies. We worked down there for some time, and monodrones and such as myself are not so much kept for their resilience in a place like that. They are kept for how easy it is to construct more. I was one of the few that made it out of my particular vector, not unscathed, but still mobile and capable of leaving. But the chaotic energies did affect my perception of the world. Monodrones see things in the great algorithm. They see the probabilities and causalities of everything. Every choice, every molecule of material is all a part of the great equation that dictates the patter of the universe. But when I walked out of the underground, it didn't really seem to matter that much. You know, there was sky, and there was ground, and there were people, there were things here, not just numbers, not just equations. I didn't know what to do with that at first, but then I saw what the authority was trying to quell. It wasn't just chaos; they were overcompensating, overcorrecting.
I've known a few people like that.
And I took it upon myself to form a resistance. It is I believe, pivotal for the health of our society for them to, how did you put it, Pimble? Loosen the fuck up. Right.
That's accurate.
Here, here.
Therefore, Pimble, who was very kind enough to help repair me to some degree, I didn't pick the paint job. Well, he has agreed to assist. That his own work and interests and his livelihood depend on a bit more autonomy than what has been given in the last 50 years or so. The mechanist colony that has cropped up has suppressed quite a bit of what would have been your natural cultural and social development. I believe that something should be done.
So, are we to pop the cork off the bottle, as it were? Unleash the chaotic energies that are held beneath the various establishments that,
Pimble just puts a hand on your shoulder, like, that was a good show. Just kind of letting the champagne pop, as it were, could very probably do more harm than good.
It sounds a little destructive.
Well, it is by its very definition, yes.
But if
not
you
if you put a towel
channel
over it.
Channel how?
Well, not sure.
Also, sidebar, do they have champagne here? Should we
Pimble
I'm gonna go ask. I'll be right back.
Pimble lifts an eyebrow. Put it on my tab, dear. It's amazing.
I'll just float away.
So Pimble, we'll cut to the chase. You get back to the bar. You ask Mike if he has any champagne. Pimble ordered it, didn't he?
Yes.
I'll say he's got singular taste. Then he pulls out a couple bottles and he hands them to you. Do you need ice or glasses or anything?
Are the bottles cold?
Pulls them back. And he dunks them in a, like, it looks like an ice bucket, but as he dunks it in, you hear, and this like little ice kind of crackles up, and he pulls it back out and he hands them back to you, and they're cold.
Perfect. You're the best, Mike.
Thanks. By the way, all the music in the bar coming out of his chest, so you do have to talk a little loud.
That's amazing.
You're the best, Mike.
Thank you.
Gonna go find my friends.
Yeah, go do your thing. Someone goes, Mike, we want to pull from the jar again.
Oh my God.
Okay. And you hear
So
the shouting
cute.
again,
It's so cute.
yeah, you head back. And you do hear at the end. There's a cheering, and person or the duodrone that pulls it goes, mopping the floors. And everyone's like, yay! And Mike just goes, and he hands him a mop, and he just kind of over. So you come back with the champagne, of which you have them in your hand, and one of them is plucked out of your hand as a pink mage hand, just pulls it over, and Pimble, you're a godsend. None, thanks.
I'm aware.
Welcome, Raiders.
Hi, Raiders. So you all are collected at this table now. Pinball has continued having this discussion, though, about the idea of just unleashing the chaos underneath the city. And he goes, Well, as far as I've been able to tell, the initial impulse to subdue the chaotic energies in this beneath this island it was not a bad idea. Yeah, there was genuinely a concern about a sort of calamity that might have befallen the land if they hadn't come and intervened. I do think that Vector here might have had the way of it, though, that there was a slight overcorrection, or perhaps an interest in uh, settling here and influencing it with the great celestial nirvana of Mechanus. They might have just gotten a little ahead of themselves and decided that's what they wanted to do. Rather than settle things, rather than settling things down, they just wanted to settle things.
So, from my understanding, magic it comes from it's energy, right? And you can channel energy. So if you were to siphon off, maybe release some of the pressure without popping the cork all at once, as it were, a nice slow build up and then a release.
Let's
Now we're talking. All right.
I think I need an adult for this conversation, Paro.
Paro looks very confused. She's not entirely sure what she just said.
Oh dear, honey. And anyway,
Tessa knows what she said.
think of it more like the difference between a champagne bottle, and he has the bottle, a champagne bottle, and a volcano. Would you just siphon from a volcano?
If you had enough protection, but probably.
I mean, if you're not a coward.
Seems like your friend might have had that idea, and he kind of nods at Verlaine.
Oh no!
Woof!
Oh no,
Diamond Schlager.
that wasn't a volcano. That was mostly. Sorry, bud.
Hardcore.
It was less of a volcano and more of a boulder.
Ow. Don't worry, they grow back sometimes.
She pats
You
Valine.
need them help.
Oh, I can make that grow back in a while, but I can't anytime soon. So if you know how, that would be great.
Well, I mean, I can't. How about this? Why? I know some people say if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but if it's not impressive, why have it? Maybe I give you a bit of an upgrade. Valaine's like, what do you mean, like 6 fingers instead of 5? He's like, no. We'll talk. Trust me, I love a project. And Valaine's like,
I'm just out of the bottle, just champagne right out of the bottle.
so is Verlaine. you both just like.
So
feel like
what do you recommend as far as being able to let off this pressure?
I think we're maybe circling the wrong metaphor here.
Okay.
The chaotic energy that's beneath the island, I think one of the biggest things that's important is understanding where it comes from, what the base energy source is. I mean, there's all sorts of theories out there. I know a few people that are actually doing in the strictest sense, doing the research for it, but it's a lot of course you would. God damn it. You know Markle.
We had a
course you know
literal
Mark.
run-in with Markle.
Oh. Uh-huh.
She miscalculated and ran over the tracks of the metronome we covered for her.
You know, I'm beginning to think that it wasn't so much an accident.
Yeah, I don't know if this was an accident.
I
now
don't know,
that
yeah.
we're...
Maybe it wasn't.
Well, you know Markle then. Do you know Kjell?
We met him too.
Smart head on
he
his shoulders.
Was he the real attractive elven gentleman?
Yeah.
Yeah,
one
he
that
likes
all
to
he
wear
has to
sweaters.
know.
It's such a good look on him.
It was a smash and fit.
You're welcome, he says. Guy wore polos before I got to him.
Oh my god.
I know.
Those poor horses.
No.
God damn it. So, if you're gonna figure out how to deal with it, I feel like, as best we can find in the geological history of the island, these energy vents, for lack of a better term for them, one on each, under each chronogram, they are they weren't always active as they are. There's even some evidence to suggest that perhaps they weren't there originally. Something might have happened below ground, or some sort of planar shift, something released energy beneath the island.
Someone
And
planted a seed.
just so. It's the prevailing theory, anyway. The idea being that such a concentration of chaos attracted the eyes of the elemental plane of order. And that's why you've got your mechanist settlers here, looking to balance the scales, except overbalancing.
Right.
So, if we were to get rid of the chaos, then they'd have no reason to be here anymore.
Well, there'd at least be greater justification to convince them to leave. There also needs to be some evidence that it's not. Maybe there needs to be something that's not worth their time or resources that they would have to be working with, not strictly the chaos energy.
What about
These
combination
are
of
all-
Fey energy? I mean, it sounds like it's one of the same, Fey and chaos.
He leans back a little bit, and as he's sort of like stroking his beard a bit, you catch him kind of doing a bit of a hand gesture, and his eyes flash a little bit. And he glances. He goes, "Oh fuck,
What?
Victor, you brought us a couple of." Darling, you all are ticking time bombs.
Oh, yeah. Just a little bit. I
Yeah, we
accidentally
noticed.
summoned 7 flumps earlier out of nowhere.
Really?
Yeah.
And he glances at Harlan and he goes, "Oh, Harlan, honey, you are a sun god."
I know it's been a quick minute and I'm a little pent up, but it's like I just got to go for a run. That helps move things along.
I'm dead. I am deceased.
Or I could drink some coffee.
And Pimble just pats you on the shoulder and is like, "We can talk later."
I do need to eat more fiber.
Kyle. I'm so upset. But Pimble's just like, "No, you all just
You're welcome.
I'm absolutely fascinated."
We get that a lot.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you've got 2 Fey descendants and this walking time bomb of us, and it's just a little bit of
Someone
Fey
that-
energy.
Was supposed to be an automaton and definitely isn't.
And he kind of glances over at Blaine and is like, "Oh, ow. What? You tell me. You've seen some shit." Yeah. Well, if you didn't have my attention before, you absolutely do now.
So I'm trying to put this. I'm not the brightest bulb in the box, but I'm
Oh,
trying
that's
to.
all right, hon. You're cute.
Oh, thank you. I know. Um, I was I, I was hoping to, you know. So, are we supposed to turn their attention to us instead of on the?
Well, you have a couple options, I suppose, but I mean, I don't think, uh, I don't think my research buddies and I would say no to a little bit of help of just trying to get a lay of the land.
Not
You
opposed.
mean going beyond the wall?
Oh, I am
Partly.
so not opposed to going behind the walls. Hmm.
Heading out there, making a couple of, say, some qualitative surveys of what's going on out there, so that maybe we can better assess what's happening underground in the more pent-up areas of the island.
Sure.
Plenty of things are getting out loose beyond the walls. Like I said, they're vents
Mm-hmm.
for all intents and purposes. There's bound to be runoff.
Tell me, you seem
But
like a very, very knowledgeable fellow.
oh, thank you.
Great archive. Ever any idea where we might be able to find something like that?
Great archive.
Mm-hmm.
You're religious.
No. Just have a side quest, if you will.
Where, pray tell, have you heard of this great archive?
Couple places here and there.
In a book.
Oh. Well, that tracks. No, I mean, you're trying to go there.
I just want to know where it might exist. If it's a holy place,
It's not just a holy place. I mean, that is the greatest of oversimplifications, my dear.
I was listening to a flump.
Oh, I like you all. No, the great archive, dear, it is a god to some. Some people worship beings. Some people worship places. And if they worship them fervently enough, those places take on power of their own to rival a god with sentience and intent. The archive itself only wishes to hold knowledge. All knowledge. Not to take it away, just to safekeep. And so much gets lost in the ebb and flow of time that, well, it's said the Great Archive contains everything that's ever been forgotten. It's a lovely idea. Not much of a religious man myself, but it's a lovely thought.
So, if it's everything we've ever forgotten, then you're saying that I might be able to find out where those. My daddy gave me some acorns when I was young, and I hid them somewhere, and I cannot remember where they are. And it's real confusing because the orchards around started changing all over the place, and I couldn't keep track of them. Now
Colin,
I
stop
really
making
like
me
to find
fall
them.
in love with you, please.
I can't. No.
Touche.
That's kind of my. It's an Elvish word for egg.
Whoosh.
Well, we've got 2 fan clubs.
Mm-hmm.
That is too few.
Oh, you haven't met the people running them.
Oh.
They're intense.
Do you miss your harlots? And your harlequins?
Or you have
That's the name of the club, is the Harlots. And the Harlequins.
They'll expect a full report next time I'm back. I've created a thing that I can no longer control.
Did you ever have control of them?
No.
With great power comes hordes of groupies. I know this pain. I will teach you. Oh. Can I just say, Alora, thank you. Thank you for Pinball. Thank
I
you.
have missed pinball so much. You don't even
Yeah.
understand. I love pinball.
Thank you so much. Anyway. Well, if you're willing, would happily put you to work. And I mean that in the most fun, well, the second most fun way I can think of.
Oh.
What's the
Ain't
most
afraid to get
fun
my
way?
hands dirty.
I really like you all.
That's nice. It's nice to actually be liked by somebody here.
Oh, dear, you are. That's a travesty. You are a work of art. Quite
you.
literally.
Yeah, my carver did a pretty good job.
And Vector goes, Does this mean you will join the cause? The cause of freedom?
I thought we joined when we
The cause
got
of
here.
oof? You really need to work on the name, hon.
What's the name stand for again?
Have it. The United Force of Free Modes. Oof.
Well, we might need to workshop that and be a little bit more broadly applying.
Given that you are the only free mode in said resistance. You don't know that for certain. Of course.
Well, I mean, you brought us here, and so I know that if you spend enough time with your brethren, they may come to see things your way, as we have.
Well, they have already found that the waves of uncertainty can be quite intoxicating. And he kind of glances out. You hear more cheering from someone else pulling from the jar. Gets handed a duster, a feather duster.
Since we're not all Modrons now, if we are going to join up with you, I think the name probably needs to change anyway. Otherwise,
Very
it's
well.
not canonically accurate for the members of the group. She looks at
Very
Juliet.
well. We can. We can schedule another clandestine meeting to discuss a new moniker for this organization.
What about the official ambassadors club for positive relations with mysterious peoples?
It's a bit of a mouthful.
No, just call it OACPRMP for short.
You just said a bunch of noises, and I have no concept of what just occurred.
Sorry.
I like it. It is very thorough.
Sounds geeky.
Incredible. This is a slight inside joke, everyone. I apologize.
I'm so sorry. I'm so
You
sorry.
put it in chat so that I can copy paste instead of
Pinball goes, we can workshop it.
Yeah, I can. I turned off the page where I had it written down 1 minute. And the fact that I still have that is amazing. Okay.
Well, if we are to participate in a academic discussion about the viability of Mechanus' continual colonization of the island, then yes, I think we could all work together on a project like that.
Excellent.
So, we do kind of have a pressing need of our own that we need to address. We've been sent by some very nice ladies to go and speak to some other
Harlots or
very nice-
harlequins?
Neither queens.
No.
Ooh,
Queens,
my.
yeah.
Queens? Where are you from?
A long
Not a
story.
monarchy for miles.
A long story. We're from a queendom. Well, I mean, we're
Ah.
originally from here, but then we.
It's a long
It's
story.
a long story. Suffice it to say, we got sucked into a book that is probably where all of the crazy energy comes from. We got spit back out literally like a couple hours after we disappeared, but for us it was years and years and years. And in that time we were tasked with, trying to save the world, etc., etc.
You know, typically when you say it's a long story, that means you want to wait till later.
Yeah, typically.
Oh, well, that's why I was giving you the synopsis, so it was at least confusing, but I don't know.
He's grinning now. He's like, no, I think I followed most of that. I've been stuck in a book or two in my time.
Just literally in our cases.
Oh, me too.
Oh,
Get into some weird shit in my line of work.
What do you do exactly? This is the second time you've referenced some mysterious, awesome thing that you do.
Everything interesting, dear.
Oh my God.
No, not quite yet, I don't think. Otherwise, you'd be pretty bored.
oh.
Fair point, Harland. You all are quite the novelty I did not expect.
Oh, I think I just had some of that at Uncle Eb's the other day.
Yeah, I
Pinball-
like where this is
pinball.
going.
Pemble turns back to Oliette and says, to be more specific, I'm an artificer, an academic, a playboy billionaire philanthropist.
Hot, amazing.
Among other things, experimental arcane research.
Huh. Interesting.
I've got a little bit of everything in my background in terms of academia, but the stranger the better tends to be my purview, and you all certainly qualify, and I mean that in the best way. So, not that we all need to shake on it, there's a lot of hands and that. But if we're all in agreement, we can certainly figure out a task for you all. Start you off slow. And hopefully... Oh, by the way, I'm so sorry, Harlan, what is your task? Maybe they coincide.
Well,
You all have a bit of chaos about you.
we need to go speak to. We need to figure out a way into the Feywild.
We need to speak with the Queens of Fae regarding the Great Archive.
You all have quite the royal connections, don't you? One queensdom to another one.
Should we bring a present of some sort? Like a. I was gonna whittle a little like penguin or something to
I
bring
think
him, but
I don't know. I mean, does the Baba Yaga count as a queen of the Fae? And then maybe I'm the present. Like, hi, what are your bloodline? Hello, welcome, nice to meet you. I don't know.
Pimble looks very surprised, and his grin has sort of slipped a little. You're looking for
said something.
the Baba Yaga.
Well, maybe I don't know.
No, you all have quite the laundry list of things to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he glances around at you all. His eyes, when he turn, they have that kind of like shiny, like when you flash a light at a cat or something. As he turns a little, he still seems to have whatever he cast before is still up. And he glances around at you all. Are you sure you didn't just come from the Feywild?
Actually, we have no idea. But it would be weird because the queens there told us to find the Great Archive and mention that we should talk to the Queens of Fae. But so it's.
I think that aren't the Queens of Fae at the archive? Aren't we going to the same place? Did I misunderstand that?
Yes, you did.
Okay, then I don't know what's going
Her
on.
Majesty of the Word told you to seek out the Queens of Fae to find out how to get to the archive.
Oh,
Like that they might have the means to get
I
there.
thought they were at the archive.
No, they're in the Feywild.
So the book that we came from, it's not the original book that was written by this jerk face that is trying to take over the reality of everything. And so that's kind of what we need to find.
Take over reality. That old chestnut.
Yeah. So we don't think it's the actual Feywild, but there's a lot of Feywild energy built into it. But again, could be wrong. No idea. Basically, this guy wanted to write a story of the world. And
somebody put a coin in Mike and started playing honky tonk.
Right?
I'm sorry.
No.
Everyone's a critic.
Kari, should we maybe discuss how much we're going to tell people outside the core group before you tell them everything?
Can I second this motion?
Yeah, I'm not good at this.
I got now, Mr. Pimble. So I've got a question, and once I ask it, you have to answer.
Pimble.
Pimble. Once I ask it, you have to answer honestly. That's the law. Did you ever write a book with how many queens are there that we've dealt with?
Six.
Queens
Six of them.
With 6 queens that were overseers of various parts of their world.
I mean, as far as I know, that was the last time I frequented the Feywild. That was the manner of their current
but
I suppose it's still a monarchy.
But you personally did not write a book about them.
No, I did not have the pleasure.
All right, we could.
I mean, I had enough stories to fill a book, but I didn't take the time.
He's fine. He answered honestly, I can tell.
That is not a thorough enough screening process.
Can I do an insight check during Harlan's interrogation?
Go ahead.
I don't think that's going to be very impressive. Insight? That's only an 11.
I mean, Pimble seems very amused at the kind accusation that Harlan just made. But I mean, he didn't flinch at the question. He was just like, no.
There.
I mean, I've written a number of books, but nothing, no tell-alls from the Feywild like that. I could show you. I have a whole library of them back in my tower.
That'd be mighty fine.
He's looking only at Harlan.
Oh, man.
I'd appreciate a tour. I always like nice architecture.
Excellent.
Someone mentioned something one time about buttresses, and I cannot get them out of my head.
Mm-hmm.
You always did say you appreciated a fine erection.
Now, see, I told you about
See,
that.
now Paru's doing it on purpose.
statue.
I refuse to believe that Paru is this innocent.
That was on purpose. That was 100% on purpose.
Wait, she gets that joke, but she doesn't get the champagne metaphor joke? I'm flummoxed by Paru's selective
She's
innuendo.
never had an experience, but she understands dirty jokes. Kind of. She understands like the fundamentals of the dirty jokes, but never but not the actual like act and what happens.
Sure. So Pimble's thinking a bit as you kind of rattle all this information off to him. Well, I have a bit of a running theory right now, but
Is it tired?
what was that?
Is it tired? Has it been running a while?
No. It just started.
It's more of a trot or a jog, a jogging theory there.
Well, give me a little bit of time to do a little research. I have a thought. So you're looking for the Great Archive. You come from a book. Is there any connection you're aware of the two?
Aside from
the original book might be in the Great Archive. Or information about the person who wrote it might be in the Great Archive.
Right. Someone lost. So what happened to the book?
one.
It's
The
somewhere
one you
safe.
came out of. What did you say, Beza?
It's somewhere safe.
Good. If what I'm thinking is correct, there could be a source of tremendous power and should definitely be kept somewhere safe.
How much power we're talking?
To create a planar facsimile of the Feywild, quite a lot. We're talking the forces of creation here.
That fits the MO.
That is... Wow, I am so happy you all came today. I think this is going to be a very productive working relationship. I'll tell you what.
He's hoping.
Y'all,
Valane,
to say,
are you
I need to say,
good? Oh, sorry, Kyle. I'm so sorry.
I need to say something. I think he's been coming on to me.
Just figuring this out?
Yeah, a little bit.
I just thought he was very polite.
I know pink and green, kind of nice complementary pink and blue, kind of nice complementary colors. I don't know, he kind of seems like the kind of guy that just hits on everything that moves.
There's nothing wrong with that, okay? Back off. It's a game. It's like a way of playing the game.
I wasn't backed on. Okay.
Valane, are you okay with this? I don't want us to jump in with all. I mean, we've kind of already jumped in with both of you because I don't have tact. But I want to make sure you're okay before we. It might lead to more answers, but if you're not okay with it, we don't have to.
He doesn't respond. He's just kind of eyeing Pimble a little bit.
Also, maybe really cool hand? Question mark?
I will say this is independent of what you just said. He kind of leans forward a little bit with his drink in his hand, sort of shaking the glass a little bit with the ice. What kind of upgrade are we talking? Pimple kind of smirks. I'll set up a consult with you. I've got ideas. Valane sort of How do you do with eyes? I do pretty good, if I do say so myself.
You certainly are easy on them.
There he is, finally picking up what I'm throwing down.
I get there. It just takes me a bit longer than other folk.
Button.
I'll tell you, you all are my new favorite.
Oh, Button, you can't drink champagne. You're not supposed to drink champagne. There's no champagne for buttons. Just canonical fire weasel.
Can
Just
I
like,
have that on a t-shirt, please?
Button, you can't drink champagne.
Correct.
Yes, I can
Oh,
put that on a
it's-
And I just want some illustration of Button like this. All I want. 2 hands just holding Button aloft. Jeez. So, you all have your drinks. The bar music continues. There's more chore wheel chores are pulled from the fishbowl hat or the fishbowl. And Pimble and Vector, well, Pimble and Vector have a little bit of a back and forth, in which it is basically decided that Vector will continue his careful guerrilla marketing and recruitment, bring more Modrons to the speakeasy, and see what he can do from his vantage point within the Monodron community. And Pimble will take this newest wash of recruits and start doing a little bit more active research. Not just theoretical stuff, but actually going out and testing things and inspecting things, trying to figure out where all of this chaos energy originated from.
We're going to be like your foot soldiers going out and looking into everything and bringing you back the information.
Less foot soldier, field team. I think that's a bit more generous.
I spent a lot of time around fighting types and military types, so my brain thinks that way.
Whatever, however you have to convert it in your mind is fine.
And Harlan grew up as a farmer, so he's got lots of experience with plowing fields.
Do with that.
Good to know.
I've also raised a few bonds.
I am quite the astronomer. You should take a look. I have a telescope in my tower that is quite impressive. If I do say so myself.
I've always wanted to see one of them.
Here's what I want. Thank you, Laura. Pimble pats Harlan on the back. Alia, you watch as Pimble turns to you and goes, as he is like, oh, I've never seen a telescope or anything. Just like, can you believe this guy? Anyway. So
Is this bottle empty?
it's empty, unfortunately. There's still some left in the bottle Pimble had on his side of the table, though. But he poisoned it. No, it's fine.
I'm ready. I'm ready after this night.
All alcohol is poison.
All alcohol is poison. I mean, we know this to be true. So Pimble actually escorts the group of you out the back of this home, out into a like an alleyway. It's a completely straight alleyway. All the buildings are perfectly like carved in this path, and he takes you to a well, honestly, there's a door, and the door has it doesn't match. You follow these very evenly spaced like doorways that would reach the back of a home. And then there's like a door in between two doorways. it's very off kilter. It's very clearly not supposed to be there in terms of the design of everything. And you see it's also in a different style. All the other doors are like arced in like a straight and then like an arc on the top. This one is perfectly rectangular with runes etched on the boards around the door. It almost looks like a marble, like a cold gray marble. And Pimble, I didn't get to describe this before. Pimble walks you all down the alley, and he's got his big ass white coat with fur on it, and his heels are clacking. He's got big heeled boots. You know they have red bottoms, and they're probably pink. Actually, they're probably magenta.
Glittered, of course.
Glitter magenta heels. Oh my god! No, he's not. No, they're just.
I thought he was
black.
wearing like fantasy Louboutins or something.
No, he's wearing like boots with like a good heel on him, which is the only reason that he's even remotely in Harlan's height. Like not by, he's not really in Harlan's height, but the heels are helping. And he leads you all down the hall or down this alleyway, and when he reaches that marble door, there's no doorknob on it. It's far easier to get around when you have your own transportation. And he knocks on the door, and it just swings open. And he goes, shall we? And he heads in first. And Verlaine goes next. He's just like, yeah. And he just walks in. Rest of you go in?
Oh yeah.
Follow?
Oh yeah.
Okay. It's a little on the dark side when you first go in. But the last person to walk through the door, you hear and there's a bit of an echo, and then the lights slowly drift brighter. They go from like a very dim blue to a warm white, and you see that you are in a workshop. It is, the whole room is in marble, and it's probably 2 stories tall. Big round space. There is the remnants of monodrones, but they are the pieces have decayed in some strange way. They almost look rusted, but not quite rust. It's a different look, almost like they melted and warped and then rehardened, like something just twisted the molecular structure of some of these pieces. And you see another monodrone, an orb shape, being slowly constructed from pieces that are salvageable from these twisted, molten. Like, it looks like somebody used the warp tool in Photoshop and just went like swiggled them around and swirled them around a little bit. And it looks like there's, like I said, there's some semblance of a monodrome being built on the workshop table. But everything else in the workshop is it's cluttered. It's full of mechanical work. There's some arcane. There's a section that seems to be like more alchemy than artificing. There are like any kind of arcane paraphernalia is in this room. It is the work of a Renaissance man, someone who does not ascribe to only one style of magic construction and research. There's also books. The whole second story is just books. There's a little balcony, like a ring of balcony on the top. It kind of makes the place look like an operating theater a little bit, in that there's like the railing. You could sort of see the whole workshop from below if you were up there. And Pimble just kind of he shrugs his coat off and tosses it onto the wall, and there's a hook on the wall, and he looks a little more human now. without the gigantic Cruella de Vil coat he was wearing. And yeah, he's just got like a very simple kind of like high collar like robe that buckles, and he kind of shows off and he goes, "Welcome to my sanctum. It's where I do all my bullshit."
Awesome.
This is one yes, absolutely. It's a mechanical hand. Kind of looks like a really tiny infinity gauntlet. It's got like gems and stuff on it.
Oh my god.
Holds on. And there's a large doorway out, and he goes, "Well, if you need it, there are plenty of accommodations, and quite a view." And he opens the big door, and you are on a huge balcony, and it's almost sunrise. So there is this, it's dark blue in the sky, and you can see the horizon where the sun is starting to rise with this like pink and green, and not green, but pink and orange and warm tones just starting to bleed up through the cold blue. And you can see beyond the wall. You're high up. And you can see the entire like edge of Chronogram 2. All the round wall that surrounds it. And the Chroniker just outside of it, this large expanse of land. And then beyond that, the outer wall. And you can just see over it. And that's where the sun is.
Wow.
He just kind of crosses his arms and sighs as he wanders out.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty damn good view. You know the whole thing with real estate. It's all about location.
It's
Fair.
definitely beautiful. Beza kind of looks over the edge. I'm not jumping off this one.
Oh, please don't.
No, that seems
Thank
like
you.
a terrible idea. How come we can't see it in town? You would think something this tall would be visible from everywhere.
You'd think.
Buttons, that is too close to the edge.
But ma'am, danger.
Do you need a little pocket harness for him?
Maybe. That might be helpful.
Like a little pouch that he could just jump in. You can have like a
Yeah.
little
Like
a little
baby
fire
beehorn.
lizard, a little fire lizard scratching post for him.
Yeah, that would be helpful. Little baby Bjorn.
Harlan's the one that the sun's kind of coming up. He's just standing there.
A little louder, Kyle. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. As the sun's like coming up, Harlan's just standing next to Oliette, just like agape, mouth agape. It's like, I ain't never seen nothing like this.
Yeah, me either.
I'm glad we were here to see it.
We should
I think that's a seagull.
probably get some rest. I don't think there's no sea. So, well, not here. We're in the middle of town.
They get everywhere. You know,
That's fair.
You're walking down
They're
the
sky
road,
rodents.
True.
just walking all over the place.
That is an
So if this-
username. Thank you for the follow.
If the sun is almost up, does it seem like I would know what time curfew begins and ends, so
Oh, you were all out well past curfew. You were sneaking out when you
Right.
left.
but if the sun's
Um,
coming up, how long do we have
Curfew
to
would start. You know what? Bong. We'll just say around as sunup is sort of just starting is around when that first alarm goes off, and you hear it, but it's like a little distant. It's kind of nice.
Oh my god, how did you do? Can you do? Is that like a treatment on the windows, or how did you do that?
I told you I had lots of talents.
You are my second favorite person that lives in this city right now.
Oh, thank you.
Anyway, we should probably go, right? I mean, I guess
You're more than welcome to take a rest here. Like I said, I have plenty of guest rooms. And it is very terribly lonesome here, to be honest. And you're all my new favorite people.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, you ain't so bad yourself.
Thank you.
Reed,
Not to mention, I need to get some measurements from this one. And looks at Villain. You said you wanted an upgrade, and I'm bored. That's your lucky day. Okay. And he kind of looks at you all a little questioningly, like, you don't have to, like, I need to kind of stick with them. It's sort of the...
I can stick with you guys if you, Eliette, if you need to get back to Uncle Ed, I don't mind.
just y'all stay and have fun. I'm just gonna go. I have to make sure he eats.
You know, I'm
seem
pretty
a little
sure. I mean, if you just go out on that fucking date with Jacqueline, it would just be.
Jacqueline could make sure he eats.
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
Villain sort of...
Paru knows that she's needling Galia right now.
Oh, so does Villain.
Oh yeah, no, the two of them are like.
They are shit stirring right now.
Oh, yeah.
Who's Jacqueline?
Beautiful,
Oh.
lovely woman.
Just
Yeah.
a home wrecking snake, you know.
He's friends with Uncle
I'm
Ed.
sure she was human, Oliette.
Yeah, well, we'll see how long that lasts.
What do you have against Jacqueline? She was lovely. They have a lot in common. They've got the same interests. She was totally checking out his ass when he was picking up her books.
Everything you could want in a woman.
I'm just
Pinball
saying that
time.
there is obviously attraction there and shared interest. Why is that a problem?
I'll see you guys later. I'm just gonna excuse myself.
Love you.
See you, Sunshine.
Should any of us really be by ourselves right now, just in case?
Probably not.
I can make sure she gets home safe.
Yeah, why don't you do that, Becca?
Is it like straight down? Is that where we were? Just straight down?
Don't jump off the tower.
I'm not okay, it went through my head for just a second, but it's fine. I was
Pinball
just
goes,
curious.
Pinball goes, please don't jump off the tower. I like your molecules where they are.
Oh, I wouldn't get all that hurt.
I
could just
think
go out
it's
the door
more
you-
than just you getting
Go-
hurt.
Go out the door the way you came, and
Oh.
you'll be back in the alley.
All right.
Knock on it 3 times when you close the door.
You know, what we really need is if there was some sort of like slide that you could take just to get down to the city street down there.
Maybe some alternate reality version of me has that already.
What do you mean, 2 alternate reality versions of you had that already?
Yep. That's that's very whimsical, and I think that might be a problem in a place like this. So I
That
kept
is
it simple.
very true.
Whimsy's my middle name.
You could keep it inside the building. You've got it magic so nobody can see it anyway.
Pinball walks up to you, Beza, puts his hands on both sides of your face, and kisses your forehead and goes, "You are my new favorite." And he,
You're welcome.
Villain does Harlan, you gonna catch
yeah,
her? You
yeah.
should go.
Be safe.
Don't I am
And-
never anything but.
Oh,
I beg to differ, but stay together and keep each other safe. Harlan, if one piece of hair on her head gets injured, you gotta hear about it.
Yeah, Basil will shave all the hairs off you then.
You'd be at it a while.
He's a
You
Muppet.
blame-
We've established this. He's covered in fur.
Yeah.
Paro, you see Verlaine watching him go, and there's a little bit of a resignation on Verlaine's face.
You okay?
Hmm.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm getting a hand and an eye. Maybe it'll shoot lasers.
Ooh.
Laser.
It was something we saw a lot of when we were doing the spore parties. It was kind of really cloudy, and like I would just
There's
kind
a
of
lot of fog and a lot of like, it's like a magic missile.
yeah, kind
kinda.
of like, but like, so you know how I do like the spore lights that kind of shoot up and stuff. So imagine it in all different colors, just kind of shooting up into this fog, and it looks like little pew 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 pews.
Kimball's like, God damn, that sounds like my weekend. And
Spore star.
and the camera fades out, pulls back on a crane shot as you go around the balcony of this tower, goofing off with Pimble. And Harland, you exit through the workshop, and Oliette, you're probably just getting to the door maybe when he leaves, or when Harlan heads into the workshop. So you see her at the door frame.
Hold up. I'm gonna be all gentlemanly and escort you home.
I mean, that's nice. You really don't. It's not far.
If I felt like I had to, I'd be less inclined to do it.
I mean,
That's
I
a lie.
guess.
My mother would spank me right upside the head if I did not do this.
Okay. Fair enough. I believe, having met your mother. So fine.
She got the back of that hand real trained, real good. It's just it just fits right there.
There's a little print.
Under the beard, it has her
It's like-
initials right
it's
there.
like-
It's like Mama put you in this world. She can take you out of it.
Take you out.
Never,
No, she wouldn't.
as long as you behave.
Sweet Mama Firebranch.
I tell you, that's not as bad as when she says "bless your heart."
Harder than any Oliette burn in existence.
Oh, it really is. It really is.
Okay, so you and Oliette head back to the house. Ebb, God. Okay, you all get back to the shop, and Ebb has completely fallen asleep in his big study chair, and there are 7 flumps, just all kind of like resting around the chair.
Y'all
There
get
are
off of him!
there
Y'all get
are
off of him right now!
Oh no 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 no!
We're not there.
I'm not there. I just realized I was like, no, it's fine. Oh, I'm not there.
All the flumps.
They're on him?
No, they're surrounding the chair. They're on the ground. Like there's books everywhere, and they had a study party.
It has
God.
7 watchdogs.
Yeah.
What?
7 flump watchdogs.
Yep.
I'm just gonna go behind the register and pull out this box that I know Ebb never really looks in, and pull out this blanket that I keep down there and step over a flump, trying not to wake them.
Well, Harlan yelled. If Harlan shouted, "You get
Oh.
off him!" They all
Then
went.
never mind.
Like a few of them, they just all kind of scattered a little bit. So you have
Oh
to
my
kind of just like
God.
gently push one out of the way as you walk forward. They're like very big sentient balloons. You just sort of gently nudge them
Oh
away.
my God. Oh my God.
I don't know
So
what they were doing to your uncle, but I'm sure glad we got here when we did.
You're a real hero, Harlan. Thank you. We should probably not. I'm gonna wake him up. This is like a rare. Let's go. Probably go into the kitchenette and start making tea just in case he gets up soon. If the sun is up, we don't have much time. Oh, sorry.
No, but when you're putting the blanket on him, he's got a book open.
What's the book?
It's just another one of the research books about the it's probably something to do with origin myths that have a more like literary bent to them. But there's a very large bookmark in the book. It's like a piece of ribbon. And there's a note written on the ribbon. And it says, may your books continue to give you joy. Jacqueline.
Your face is loud.
Mm-hmm.
They designed it that way.
Okay, I'll just close the book, despite my just sudden urge to just let this thing incinerate in my hands. I'm just gonna very calmly close the book, set it on the table next to him, back away.
He's just very, very, very unconscious. Mm-hmm.
Should I?
His glasses are sort of like down his nose. So you go make tea.
Yeah.
And that is where we'll sort of wrap unless you have something you want to say, Kyle.
I think Harlan is just gonna, I don't know, watch Oliet make tea, since it's a different experience from how his mom makes tea. So it's a new thing.
Yeah.
Do you want to learn how to make it? It's easy.
Not nearly as much sugar.
You want to teach me? Yeah, that'd be mighty fine. And then you can teach me all about that. What is it? That one. It's round and it's got a little line outside of it. It's
the Q, the letter Q.
Is that what it is?
I think that's the one. Yeah, that's the one you kept doing backwards.
That's a real funny looking one. I want to learn about that one.
You should see the little one. We've only done capital letters so far. You should see the little one's very funny.
Wait. Different types.
There's baby letters.
Yeah.
It has a child.
Oh my god.
Too pure.
See, now the problem is Harlan thinks that there's alphabet math. Like, what happens if an A and a B have a baby? C? Is that a word?
Children? That'd be cruel.
Okay, so first you boil the water.
We'll put a pin in that for later.
I have to come back to that.
Oh my god. And so yeah. And then at some point, Oliet, you go to the book and you write in it, "She'll never be my real mom."
Oh my god.
Not really, but that's where we'll end the session with my headcanon. All right. See, I told you. No tears. The whole thing, no tears. I did it.
Did it. So proud of you.
Awesome. All right, everybody. That was the end of chapter 19. Open mic night. So you all are amazing. I mean that to our players and also to our lovely viewers who were very kind in continuing their efforts to completely not even derail, just enrich and liven up our game. Yep. Thank you so much to Alora for your NPC, Pimble, just Pimble, all the glitter beard
Thank you.
was the technical request. And thank you to Shadow Sylvia for your Wheel of Causality request for more chaos, which I think we established now that there are 7 flumps living in Uncle Eb's store.
Yep, definitely.
Which we will have officially named next week. We have collected your suggestions.
I put them in the chat.
And yeah,
I have them all. I've collected your suggestions. I have them all. If you are, would you like
Kick
them,
ass.
Angela?
Go ahead and send them to me.
Okay.
I'll wrap up stream and we'll talk after.
All right.
I'm excited.
So delighted by it.
I don't know if you want to look for a raid or not. That's up to you, Tess.
I still have not figured out how to do that.
I think I can. So everybody, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We, as always, have a heck of a time playing for you all, and we will see you here next week. We're here on Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, here on Twitch at We Are Nerdsmith. Twitch channel. You follow us here on Twitch or on Twitter at the same name, We Are Nerdsmith, and you'll get heads up when we go live. We also stream on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. I run Discover RPG for an hour, which is basically just a celebration of role-playing games, whether they be video or tabletop. We do still have Chicken Police, so we're going through our photorealistic farm animal noir story. Which is amazing. But I hope you all join us if you'd like to just hang out for an hour with a bunch of goofs, voice acting, sentient chicken detectives.
And don't forget to check out our Twitter or our Facebook to make sure you solve Robit's clues for a chance to win those Die Hard dice. They have been posted, and you can message us. Button? Not now. You can message us.
Button.
With your answers and get the next clue.
Awesome.
And I just posted the link to the Twitter post again.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you again to Nerdsmith for continuing to be our home, for Eldritch Foundry for our amazing character designs, which Bezos is, I think, now accurate. We have World Anvil for their absolutely amazing world building and campaign management software, and Die Hard Dice. We're so sorry that a goblin stole our set for this month. We are trying to fix it, we promise.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you all to our viewers for that. And so yeah, we will be here next week. You all are fabulous. Have a safe rest of your week. Make good choices. Be smart. And please, above all, do us all a favor and be good to each other. All right. Good night, everybody. To be continued, chapter 20.